Final warning. You were moments from a breakthrough, until someone close delayed it. This ends today. They don't realize how close you were, how inches away you stood from your divine door, how just a single breath more, and you would have stepped into everything you've prayed for, everything you've cried about, everything you fasted, waited, and warred in the spirit to receive. You weren't late. You weren't wrong. You were aligned. But someone, yes, someone too close, stepped in, with their doubt, with their envy, with their whispered poison dressed as care. And now heaven is watching. Heaven is responding. Heaven is drawing a clear line. You see, it wasn't your lack of faith that delayed this breakthrough. It wasn't your timing that faltered. It wasn't even spiritual warfare that did it. It was the one person you kept giving chance after chance. The one you trusted with your vulnerable truths. The one you allowed too close to your holy ground. But that person, whether knowingly or unknowingly, stepped in between you and your moment. And this is your final warning, not from a place of anger, but from a place of divine urgency. Archangel Michael has sounded the alarm. He's unsheathed his sword. He's now guarding the space that was once left open. Because this interference, it ends tonight. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Tonight. You've been patient long enough. You've been gracious beyond measure. But the hourglass of divine timing has flipped, and now the hands of heaven are moving. Swiftly, without hesitation, without apology. Archangel Michael says, pay attention. Something sacred was being released over your life. Something powerful was moments away. But someone near you, someone who should have celebrated you, stretched out their hand to stop what heaven had ordained. They thought they were protecting you. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe it wasn't protection. Maybe it was possession. Maybe it was pure fear masked as advice. But it does not matter now. Because heaven sees what you do not. Heaven hears what was said behind the veil. And heaven has drawn the line. The warning has come. The protection has now surrounded you. This message is not fear, it is fire. It is light sweeping through the shadows. It is the final alert before the shift overtakes everything. For too long, you kept asking why the door wouldn't open. You wondered why the blessing hovered but didn't land. You assumed it was something you needed to fix. But no, it was the energy around you. It was the heart beside you. It was the one who feared your flight more than they loved your freedom. But Archangel Michael has stepped in now. The angelic forces have encircled your name. What was held up is now being pulled down. What was blocked is being bulldozed through the heavens. And now, beloved, a window is open. A divine opening, but only for a short time. You must walk with discernment. You must walk with boldness. The time of delay is over. The time of breakthrough has been reinstated. And the one who stood in the way, they will be revealed. Gently, firmly, divinely. But they will be removed from your timeline. Type this ends today in the comments. Lesson code 144 is now active over your life. Archangel Michael has now opened the veil, and what was once hidden in shadow is rising to the surface. A presence, a voice, a familiar spirit masquerading as a friend. Someone who had access to your inner garden. Someone who smiled at you while praying you'd stay small. Someone close enough to touch your vision but not mature enough to utter it. Their energy was subtle, but the damage was strategic. It wasn't always what they said, it was the hesitation in their affirmation, the delay in their encouragement, the silence when your name was mentioned in rooms of honor. That silence wasn't random. That hesitation wasn't oversight. It was spiritual resistance in a human form. Archangel Michael reveals this truth. A conversation is happening behind your back. A conversation laced with confusion, with twisted perceptions, with subtle bitterness. Someone believes they understand your assignment. Someone believes they know your heart better than you do. They've been misinterpreting your silence, rewriting your story, retelling your pain with words dipped in ego and assumption. They thought they knew you, Michael says, but they only knew the version of you that you allowed them to see. They only knew the you that was still healing, still bending, still trying to fit into places your soul was never meant to shrink for. This spirit of delay did not appear in demonic form. It came as comfort. It came as family. It came as laughter, and I'm just looking out for you. But in the spirit, it was resistance. It was interference. And it delayed something massive. Something supernatural. Your breakthrough was standing at the gates. The angels were aligning it to your frequency. But someone intercepted the frequency. Someone close to you became the echo chamber for doubt. They questioned your timing. They questioned your readiness. They questioned your identity, not out loud but in energy. And energy always speaks louder than words. Archangel Michael warns you now. You must awaken to this interference. It is not about paranoia. It is about perception. You must sharpen your sight. You must sense who dims the room when you speak. You must feel who claps without clapping. Who listens but never hears. Who smiles but never rejoices. That's where the delay was planted. That's where the disruption began. Not with demons. Not with sin. But with doubt wearing the face of someone familiar. This person is not your enemy, but they are not your elevation. Not in this season. They are not equipped to walk through this next door with you. You must release them emotionally before God releases you physically. Archangel Michael is pulling back the curtain of distraction, exposing the energy that stalled your destiny. And the shock may sting. The name may hurt. But this revelation is your liberation. You must not go silent now. You must not explain this away. You must not gaslight your own discernment. What you felt was real. What your spirit has been sensing. It was confirmation wrapped in tension. Do not ignore it any longer. The divine realm is shouting now. You were seconds from a supernatural shift, and that delay was not your fault. But this ends today. This interference is being removed. Type I see the truth in the comments. Blessing code 1111 is surrounding your life now. This was never just about personality clashes, miscommunication, or emotional misunderstanding. This wasn't simply an awkward season or a human error. No, this hath been spiritual interference from the beginning. And now, through the voice of Archangel Michael, the truth is roaring into your atmosphere. What delayed your breakthrough was not ordinary resistance. It was a calculated spiritual disruption, dressed in the familiarity of someone close. This is not personal. It is prophetic. It is not drama. It is divine warfare. This is not gossip. It is a spiritual assignment from the shadows trying to shut down your voice and close off your gates. Archangel Michael declares, you are chosen. You are marked. You are divinely sealed. Your journey is not like theirs. Your elevation is not common. Your assignment carries weight in the spirit realm, and because of that, forces were stirred. They didn't rise up just because you were moving forward. They rose because the light inside you began to shine brighter than it ever had. It pierced through emotional bondage. It severed generational patterns. It triggered every unhealed spirit around you. And those closest to you, those who had not done their own spiritual work, reacted, not consciously, not with malice, but with misalignment. Misalignment that created friction. Friction that created delay. There is a spiritual principle few understand. When heaven gets ready to elevate you, it doesn't just test your faith, it tests your circle. It allows your presence to become too bright, too holy, too large for the container you were in. Not to punish you, but to reveal who cannot breathe in the altitude you are rising to. And someone close to you, someone you trusted, chose the comfort of low places over the transformation required to rise with you. That choice made in spirit and sustained in energy created interference. It created turbulence right at the edge of your breakthrough. But Archangel Michael is not just revealing the warfare. He is confronting it. He is naming it. He is cutting through it with heaven's authority. The reason this moment matters is because the delay almost succeeded. It almost rode your timeline. It almost redirected your mission. But heaven interrupted the interruption. Heaven pressed pause on the delay so you could receive this warning. And this message, this moment, is not random. It is recalibration. Divine recalibration. Because now that the spiritual conflict is exposed, it can no longer hide behind human excuses. You are under divine surveillance. Governed. Guarded. Surrounded by legions of angels who are repositioning your destiny. You were not weak. You were not blind. You were simply too loyal to the wrong energy. But that ends today. This interference will not outlive this season. The person who carried the spirit of delay cannot access your next dimension. You've been too purified, too prepared, too pressed through pain to allow this lesson to go unlearned. And now, it's time to walk in awareness, not bitterness. In boldness, not fear. In anointing, not apology. Archangel Michael reminds you, this battle was not against flesh and blood. It never was. It was light against shadow. Alignment versus sabotage. Destiny versus distraction. But the light has spoken. The spirit realm has shifted. You are being pulled back into divine alignment. And the glory that was once delayed is rushing toward you now. Undeniable, unshakable, and irrevocable. Type I am divinely aligned in the comments. Blessing code 777 is surrounding you now. Archangel Michael leans in now, not to frighten you, but to make you aware of the final play being set into motion. There is a stirring behind the scenes. A restless energy has begun to awaken in the heart of the one who delayed you. They feel the shift. They sense the elevation returning to your timeline. And in their spirit, there is panic. Because they know, they always knew, that what was over your life was never small. But now, the covering that once shielded them from consequences has been lifted. Heaven is allowing exposure to proceed. The confrontation you've been spiritually sensing. It's not a maybe, it's a certainty. Someone is preparing to reach out. Someone is scripting a message. But not from a place of apology, from a place of control. They are going to test your peace. They are going to twist truth into confusion. They are going to act like they didn't know what they were doing. But deep down, their spirit knew. Their ego knew. Their envy knew. And now that they've felt your energetic withdrawal, your silence, your holy detachment, they are desperate to re-enter. Archangel Michael warns, be discerning in the next 72 hours. Be still. Be spiritually sharp. Do not explain. Do not correct. Do not entertain their cycle again. You must understand something critical. This person is not just showing up to say sorry. They are showing up to reset the delay. They are coming to reattach themselves to your anointing. They are coming with sugary words, with "I've been thinking of you," with old memories wrapped in nostalgia. But remember this. What they broke was not just trust. It was spiritual timing. They altered your atmosphere with their doubt. They hindered the landing of your blessing with their shadowed alignment. This cannot be overlooked, and heaven will not allow it to be repeated. Archangel Michael declares, the next conversation you allow could reframe the gate of your next miracle. Be watchful. Be wise. Not everything that smiles is sacred. Not everything that remembers you should still have access to you. The one who delayed your breakthrough is sensing your closeness to it again, and they are afraid you will finally walk through it without them. That fear is pushing them into action. They are gathering stories. They are calling old connections. They are reshaping the narrative to paint themselves as misunderstood, as innocent. But heaven sees through the mask. You are no longer called to shrink in the presence of manipulation. You are no longer obligated to respond just because someone reaches out. Your elevation demands boundaries. Your breakthrough demands stillness. Your spirit demands peace. And peace is expensive. It will cost you people who once felt familiar. Archangel Michael reminds you now. Silence is your sword. Stillness is your warfare. Peace is your shield. Do not engage. Do not defend. Let heaven respond for you. The spiritual realm is already in motion. Every weapon formed is being disarmed. Every plan made in shadow is collapsing under light. This is not the time to get emotional. This is the time to be obedient. You must obey what your spirit already knows. And if you do, the final tie will break. The delay will dissolve. The door will open. And the miracle that hovered will finally fall into your hands. Not tampered, not tangled, but completely yours. Type "I" will not go back in the comments. Lesson code 4444 is guarding you now. Archangel Michael now speaks with a tone of calm fire, a voice not of urgency, but of unwavering authority. He does not come to stir fear in your heart. He comes to anchor your soul. Because while the interference has been exposed, and the confrontation has been forewarned, now is the moment you must armor your spirit with divine silence and sacred stillness. This is not your battle to fight in the physical. This is not your truth to defend in human words. This is a matter of divine alignment, and heaven is the one orchestrating your vindication. You are being given a spiritual instruction right now. Do not explain yourself. Do not feel obligated to clear up the confusion. Do not go chasing false peace. Let them sit in their assumptions. Let them speak to empty rooms. Let them tell their twisted stories. Because the more you try to defend yourself, the more you breathe life into the lie. But when you go still, when you remain unmoved, heaven speaks louder on your behalf than any voice ever could. This is your test. This is your moment to elevate without the need for noise. Your silence is not weakness. It is warfare. It is thunder dressed in grace. Archangel Michael reminds you now. You are protected. You are insulated. You are covered by heaven's code. No energy can pierce you unless you open the door. So shut it, beloved. Seal it shut with discernment. Stop revisiting dead dialogues. Stop scrolling through what-ifs. Stop wondering how they feel. You already know what they carry. And you already know who you are. You don't need their closure. You don't need their validation. What you need now is discipline. The discipline to preserve your elevation with peace. This season is not about loud exits. It's about silent upgrades. Heaven is moving you upward so quickly, you won't even have time to unpack the betrayal. The blessing is going to come so fast, you'll forget you ever prayed for some of it. But here is the condition. Stay in alignment. Stay grounded in your knowing. Speak only when led. Respond only when required. The enemy thrives off your reaction, but heaven thrives off your restraint. Let your stillness be your roar. Let your peace be your weapon. Let your refusal to argue be the sign that you are no longer on their level. This isn't bitterness. This is boundary. This isn't hate. This is holiness. You are stepping into a space where only clean energy can follow. And anyone carrying spiritual dust, no matter how familiar their face may be, will feel uncomfortable in your presence. That's okay. That's confirmation. Not everyone is meant to be comfortable around your calling. You are not being cold. You are being consecrated. You are being set apart for a blessing that has your name etched in gold across the gates of heaven. So here is your instruction from Archangel Michael. Remain still. Anchor yourself in clarity. Let no text, no call, no manipulation pull you back into old cycles. You've come too far. You've cried too hard. You healed too deeply to give this ground up again. Let heaven handle what you can't. And trust, God does not let interference go unaddressed. Every delay is being reversed. Every weapon is being dismantled. Every lie is being silenced. You are now in your protected phase. Honor it. Protect it. Walk in reverent power. Type "I will stay still" in the comments. Blessing code 1212 is surrounding your peace now. Now the light begins to rise. Now the fog begins to lift. Now your soul begins to remember who you are. Because this is where the story pivots. This is where the pain that delayed you transforms into the fire that propels you. This is where Archangel Michael's voice grows stronger, not to warn anymore, but to awaken, to shake the dust off your spirit, to remind you that you were never the broken one. You were the breakthrough in disguise. And now, the disguise is being removed. The covering is being stripped. And the real you is rising. They thought they could silence you. They thought they could clip your wings with confusion and tether your soul to doubt. But they didn't realize what they were touching. They didn't know that the delay only made you more dangerous to the enemy. They didn't understand that while they were whispering about your past, God was rewriting your future. While they were trying to hold you back, heaven was pressing fast forward. And now they won't even recognize the version of you that's emerging from this silence. Because you are no longer who they thought you were. Archangel Michael proclaims, the ashes you were left in are no longer your residence. They are your proof. Your proof that you survived. Your proof that you outgrew the attack. Your proof that divine fire does not consume the chosen. It refines them. You have been refined. You have been tested. And now you have been confirmed. There is a confirmation over your life that cannot be erased by any mouth, any betrayal, any storm. You are sealed. You are rising. You are moving with divine acceleration. The shift that delayed you is now the fuel that's pushing you forward. Heaven has flipped the script. The one who tried to delay your breakthrough will now have to watch it happen. They will see the favor fall. They will see the doors open. They will witness the light surround you so brightly that it becomes impossible to deny who you are and whose you are. Not for revenge, not for pride, but for glory. For God's glory revealed in the one they underestimated. And you, beloved, you must now walk like you are already in the blessing. No more waiting for confirmation from man. No more hesitating to speak because of who might not like it. No more dimming your light to make others comfortable. The shift is here. The chains are off. And heaven is declaring, you are too powerful to return to who you were. Out of the silence, you rise. Out of the shadow, you shine. Out of the betrayal, you build. The storm didn't destroy you. It revealed you. The delay didn't disqualify you. It distinguished you. You are not the same person who was hurt. You are not the same soul who was doubted. You are now a vessel of clarity, fire, and divine wisdom. Let no one tell you otherwise. Let no old memory re-anchor your identity in pain. Let no former voice narrate your future. This moment forward, you speak from the throne within you. You walk with the sword of discernment. You carry yourself as heaven's answer, not earth's victim. And as you rise, know this, nothing can touch what God has already sealed. Nothing can stop what heaven has approved. Type I am unstoppable in the comments. Blessing code 888 is pouring over your purpose now. This is the moment the atmosphere shifts for good. This is not just the end of interference. This is the birthing of the transformation that was held up, delayed, and paused by proximity to the wrong person. Archangel Michael declares with divine certainty, you will not walk away from this season empty-handed. You will not exit this storm without reward. You will not leave this fire without promotion. Because what the enemy delayed, God is now accelerating. What was withheld is being multiplied, and what was interfered with is being supernaturally restored. Heaven did not forget your prayers. The timeline was not destroyed. It was recalibrated. What you lost in time will be returned in acceleration. And not just any acceleration, but supernatural, divine, undeniable movement. You were delayed by a familiar hand, but you are about to be promoted by the righteous hand of God. This is your prophetic resolution. This is the beginning of the redemption arc that no one saw coming. The ones who whispered your name in secret are about to witness your name announced in blessing. The same mouths that spoke doubt will speak shock. The same energy that pulled you down will now have to watch you rise, and rise with power, with peace, and with promise. Archangel Michael whispers now, the oil was never removed, it was only paused. But the oil is flowing again. Blessings that were hovering are now landing. Doors that were locked are now swinging wide. Hidden helpers are being stirred. Unknown favor is forming behind the scenes. God is about to blow your mind, not because you fought back, but because you stayed still. Not because you exposed them, but because you trusted Him. But heaven always rewards faithfulness. Expect a sign. Expect divine confirmation in the next 24 hours. Something subtle but undeniable. It may come through a message, a dream, a repeated number, or even an unexpected call. But you will feel it. You will know it. Your spirit will vibrate with truth. That sign will mark the turning point, the signal that the delay has ended and your next chapter has begun. You will no longer be in waiting mode. You will be in walking mode. You will be moving in purpose, moving in grace, moving in power that can't be duplicated or denied. And there's more. Archangel Michael reveals a second wave of transformation, the divine reversal. Yes, God is not only giving you what was delayed, He's giving you what you didn't even ask for. Hidden treasures, unseen rewards, blessings from places you never sowed into but are now receiving harvest from because of your endurance. Because you didn't curse the process. Because you didn't break under pressure. You were moments from your breakthrough, but it wasn't lost and it was locked. And now the lock has broken. The gates have opened, and the heavens are declaring, this is the hour of release. You are stepping into unshakable peace. Your heart will no longer race in anxiety. Your nights will no longer echo with the noise of betrayal. You are stepping into emotional wealth, mental clarity, spiritual fire, divine joy. You will wake up lighter. You will move freer. You will operate without apology. You will be drawn toward purpose without resistance. This is transformation, not just externally, but in your soul, in your atmosphere, in your identity. You are not returning to anything. You are being renewed into everything. You are no longer carrying delay. You are carrying glory. You are no longer asking why. You are declaring now. The time is now. The moment is here, and the transformation has begun. Type "the delay is broken" in the comments. Blessing code 999 is now flooding your destiny with favor. Now that the delay has been shattered, now that your breakthrough is rushing back to meet you, Archangel Michael calls your spirit to move. Not in panic, not in fear, but in alignment. Because transformation without activation is incomplete. You've been awakened, yes. You've been recalibrated, yes. But now it's time to respond with boldness, with agreement, with intention. Because the divine cannot override a will that stays silent. Heaven is not asking for perfection. It is asking for participation. And your participation activates the rest of your path. You are not being invited to fight. You are being invited to declare, to step into the vibration of your next level, to speak into the atmosphere what heaven has already written over you. The final warning, one just a caution, it with a countdown. The energy of this moment is volatile. It's ready to move with you or without you. And Archangel Michael warns, do not miss this window by hesitating. The next move must be spiritual. The next move must come from your mouth, from your posture, from your actions. You don't need to shout it from the rooftops, but you do need to own it in your spirit. Say it. I step into my breakthrough. I agree with heaven. I am not delayed. I am aligned. Speak it out loud. Type it in the comments. Write it on paper. Whisper it over your pillow. Shout it in your car, but declare it. Because the delay thrived in silence. The interference lived in your passivity. But your purpose is a fire that responds to voice, to command, to declaration. You must become the echo of God's yes. And that echo will vibrate through everything in your life, your relationships, your decisions, your mindset, your money, your mission. Everything will respond to the sound of your belief. And belief is not passive. Belief is action. Belief is spiritual aggression. Belief is saying, I will no longer sit back and hope. I will move with holy confidence. This is what Archangel Michael now urges you to do. Move. Speak. Agree. Shift. Don't wait for another sign. This word is your sign. This message is your green light. This prophetic voice is the trumpet blast before the wall falls. And it will fall, not by effort, but by echo. Echo what heaven is saying. Repeat what your spirit already knows. And then walk like it's already done. You are not stepping into this moment alone. You are flanked by angels. You are surrounded by fire. You are covered by the hand of the Most High. Heaven did not bring you here to tease your hope. It brought you here to activate your courage. Now take the keys. Walk through the door. And do not look back. The interference has ended. The person who delayed you had been spiritually discharged. The power has returned to your hands. Now use it. Now speak it. Now move in it. Say it again. I align. I activate. I move in divine timing. Say it until your voice becomes conviction. Say it until your atmosphere shifts. Say it until your soul stands up straight. This is your call to action, not as a plea, but as a prophecy fulfilled. Your response is the unlocking. Your decision is the doorway. Your agreement is the activation. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Every seed you sow helps spread divine truth and keeps this sacred fire burning. We thank you deeply. Type I activate my next level in the comments. Blessing code 2020 is unlocking doors before you even knock. This is where it all settles. This is where the storm quiets, not because it lost its power, but because you stepped into yours. This is where the last echo of interference fades beneath the roar of divine identity. Archangel Michael's voice is no longer a trumpet of warning. It is now a whisper of peace. A seal being placed upon your soul. A divine signature written across your spirit saying, "You made it. You heard the call. You responded. And now, you are covered. Let this be known. You are not a victim of delay. You are the revelation that rises from it. You are not here because you survived. You are here because you transformed. What tried to bury you became the soil for your roots. What tried to silence you only deepened your voice. The one who delayed you didn't win. They were only used. Used to trigger the awakening. Used to reveal the lesson. Used to help you recognize what sacred protection actually looks like. They were not powerful. They were permitted. But that permission has now expired. And so has your connection to the delay. You are light in human form. A radiant fire cloaked in flesh and crowned in favor. You are the walking proof that interference can only pause what God has authored. It cannot erase it. You are chosen. You are covered. And you are on time. That's right, on time. Let go of the lie that you're behind. Let go of the shame that you missed it. Let go of the fear that it's too late. Archangel Michael declares, everything is being redeemed. Everything is being restored. Everything is being released in the perfect hour, and that hour is now. This is your closure, not just from people, but from patterns. Not just from moments, but from mindsets. The version of you that once questioned their worth, their vision, their timing. That version has been released. That identity had been dissolved. Now you carry the revelation of heaven's orchestration. You move with the rhythm of divine flow. You walk with the protection of angelic legions. And nothing that tried to stop you before will survive in your new atmosphere. Let them whisper. Let them wonder. Let them write their version of the story. But you rise. You rise without apology. You rise without fear. You rise without the need to be understood. Because your life is no longer shaped by opinions. It is shaped by prophecy. Your identity is no longer chained to familiarity. It is clothed in fire. Clothed in truth. Clothed in divine royalty. Archangel Michael speaks this final word over you. You are not the delay. You are not the interference. You are not the mistake. You are the miracle. You are the turning point. You are the sign they've been waiting for. Carry this truth with you. Let it echo in every step. Let it shape every conversation, every decision, every boundary. You are not walking out of this word. You are walking into it. This isn't just the end of the delay. This is the beginning of divine clarity, divine peace, divine power. Let the past fall behind you like dead leaves from a tree. Let the words spoken over you in shadow lose their grip. Let the interference collapse beneath the weight of your obedience. You are the chosen one. You are the revelation. And from this moment forward, ***, you no longer wait for permission. You walk in purpose. Type "I am the revelation" in the comments. Blessing code 5555 is now finalizing your freedom. This is your moment. This is your mantle. This is your miracle, and it begins today.